Hi, this is Linda Summers, and welcome to Linda Summers TV, where we talk about health, wellness, and healing techniques to guide you on your wellness journey. And today I am here live at So Cal Healthy Hideaway, Dr. Melvin's office in La Mesa, where I feel it is the healing sanctuary of La Mesa. And the reason I feel that is because they have amazing customer service. We have so many healing techniques that really help you, guide you on your wellness journey. We have things like thermal imaging, we have red 360 laser, we had infrared sauna, we have oxygen bar, we have halo therapy, which is a salt cabin, we have pain-free zone. There's so much more that we have, you guys, that you don't even know. But today we're going to talk about thermal imaging with Theresa Williams, and Theresa is going to give you information as to what is thermal imaging, what is thermal imaging, like the benefits of that, and why is it important with that. I'd like to welcome Theresa to the show.
Hi, I'm Theresa.
Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
God, this has just been a wonderful experience ever since I got into it about 15 years ago. So, 16 now because my son's 16, almost 17.
Gosh. Yeah, so give us some background information as to how you got started in this.
Okay, so I was pregnant with my son, who is going to be 17 in August. He's 16 now. And I was really sick. I thought I was dying. I thought I had stomach cancer. And so I lived in LA at the time, and my mom had just got into thermal imaging. She was doing a lot of personal injury cases because personal injury, they would do x-rays, but the bone wasn't broken. It was always muscle or tissue that's been damaged, or nerves, right? That's been damaged in a car accident, and you couldn't see that on an x-ray. Right. So that's where thermal imaging kind of came into play. And so when that started to take off, we started to realize you could do breast imaging, and it was really good for breast imaging because you could see precursors to what was going on with the breast, like hormonal imbalances, getting too much estrogen, inflammation, which is one of the main causes of disease in the body anyways, if you have too much inflammation.
Yes.
So, and all that could be seen on thermography. So we were trying to help women before they got to the point of right?
The C word.
The
yes.
C word. We don't say that word. But,
exactly.
That's not our focus. Our focus isn't cancer. Our focus is wanting to see inflammation and stuff that we can do to help the body. Like back in Adam and Eve days when the body was supposed to process on its own in a normal way, right?
Yes.
Our body doesn't do that because we're combated with toxins on a daily basis, right? We're not taking the right minerals. We don't get the right supplements. Iodine is the main one that we don't get anymore. That used to be in salt and they took it out, right?
Yes.
And we need iodine. So we'll get all into that later. But so I was pregnant and I was sick, very sick. I've never been that sick in my life. And so I couldn't keep anything down, constantly throwing up. And the weirdest thing was my body core temperature. Like I was freezing cold no matter what I did, no matter how many clothes I put on.
Wow.
It was the weirdest thing. So I just knew I had stomach cancer. And so me and my husband had been married for 10 years, and I've never been pregnant. We've never used birth control, nothing like that. So that was the furthest thing from my mind. I would never have thought that. So I called my mom, and I just told her, I'm very sick. I think I have stomach cancer, And so she asked me to come down, that she was doing this thermal imaging, and she could see what was going on. So thermal imaging is seeing inflammation in the body. It can see all soft tissue. It can see blood flow, all that kind of stuff, but it can't see bone. Okay. All right. So, and it's a test of physiology, so it's different, you know? Okay. So I said, okay, I'll come down. But I had to drive from LA to here.
Oh, gosh.
And I was sick as a dog.
Yeah.
So I had to drive with a bucket, throwing up the whole way down here, So I get down here, and my mom does the imaging, and she's laughing, I go, you think it's funny? I'm dying of stomach cancer and stuff. She goes, honey, you're not dying of stomach cancer. You're pregnant, right? And then I just lost it. Like, I started crying. I go, I can't be a mom. I'll be an awful mom. Like, I don't know how to be a mother. Like, what am I going to do, And my mom was like, honey, it's like, like natural instincts, you know what I mean?
Yes.
I go, you're crazy. I don't even think you know what you're doing, you know what I mean? And so she goes, okay, we'll go to the doctors, So we went to the doctors. And, of course, they put their hand up in there. And he's like, oh, I had literally been sick for 3 months.
Oh my gosh.
And he said, you're about 3 months pregnant. I go, oh, that's horrible. That's so horrible.
Oh my gosh.
That's so bad, right? And so, but anyways, I have a beautiful son. He's almost 17, and and I've been doing thermography ever since with my mom. I moved down here and started helping her with the business because the business started growing as we started doing more and more imaging to help people with their health. So.
Yeah, and it is amazing because I know for me, my story, I started doing this in 2005, and I'm actually training with them. They're training me to do this because I feel that this is important, that every man and woman, and how, now is it age of a child, how early can they do it?
You can do it whenever. We do babies all the way up to,
and animals too. I know we did a dog that recently.
We do, yeah.
So I just feel that this is such an important, aspect to your health journey that I've noticed in the training that, like, you talk about the inflammation, the estrogen dominance, the hormone imbalance, all these things, and knowing if you're pregnant. I mean, how exciting is that just to find out?
Yeah, and it's funny because the thermography, what it shows for pregnancy is the breast. It shows in the breast because the milk is starting to flow, and everything is very active in the breast when you're pregnant, and that's like one of the earliest signs of seeing the pregnancy.
So what you're saying, the thermal imaging is, so let's talk about what is the thermal imaging. So it's like a temperature of the body. It takes images.
So when you're sick and you take your temperature with a thermometer, and the thermometer says you have 104 temperature, you're like, oh my God, I'm so sick.
Yeah.
Well, this is kind of doing the same thing. You're seeing where heat and cold are, but thermography is a balance. So meaning it's like drawing a line down the middle of the body. We're looking at things left to right, and we're making sure everything kind of looks the same. So you could have heat under your breast, but if you have that same amount of heat on both sides, it's because the breasts are lying on the chest, the chest plate here, and it traps heat. Your arms are down, it's going to trap heat under the arms. So certain places where inflammation will always be, there's no way of getting rid of it.
Right.
You'll see that, but you'll be able to measure temperature from left to right, making sure it's the same. Okay. When it's not the same, then that's when there's an issue.
Okay.
And I know a lot of people back in the day, thermography was really popular. And they used to do a thing where they would cold stress you, and they put your hands in cold water, and they try to bring down the temperature because whatever stayed active was supposed to still be, that was supposed to be where the problem was.
Wow.
But it was causing too many problems because if the whole body goes into vasoconstriction, then you can't see anything, right?
Right.
So a lot of people still ask me about that when they come in. Well, back in the day, they used to you don't put my hands in cold water.
Like,
well, everything advances. Cameras advance, computers advance. You don't need to do that anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
And that's totally why we take that last, how we take a frontal picture and then we take that frontal picture one more time.
Yes.
Because your body's already cooled down. So by the time we get to that picture, you can still see if there's inflammation running in the body.
Right. Now you have different images that you take too, that you take too, as far as, because I'm learning all this, you guys, so it's really been fascinating because there's different, you can do spot views, so name the different images, like, of what you can do and what you think is really important to do.
Okay, so we do breast imaging, of course. We do half body, that's from the pelvis to the top of the head, and we do the full body, everything from the top of the head to the bottom of the feet. I believe that if you've never had imaging done, you should definitely get a full body. It gives you tons of information of what's going on in the body. Everything from, and you think your legs or feet or something's not important, really everything starts at the feet.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And the mouth. I never knew how important it was if you've had root canals, crowns, because that gum doesn't ever heal properly around that tooth anymore. Food gets underneath that gum line, gets into the lymph node, and then you start a whole nother problem, right? And people don't know that. When you go to the dentist, if there's no inflammation where they can see, right? Yeah. Or with an x-ray, right? Yeah. Then of course they're not telling you that you've already gotten an infection periodontally, lymphatically, and we just had this discussion last night with my husband because I said, what's your lymph system?
Yeah,
that's
so important.
System.
The whole body.
The whole body, right?
Yes.
Okay, but what is the lymph system doing for you?
The lymph system, for me, what I've been learning is that it's detoxing. Like
your waste.
It's your waste. So if it is clogged, that's where you're going to find major problems because your system is not getting rid of the toxins. Yeah,
getting rid of your toxins. So, and we're talking sweat, pee, poop, you know what I mean? All those things are getting rid of waste in the body. Yeah. If none of those things, and poop is like, your ascending and descending colons, if you're creating too much bacteria, if your food's not digesting. So let's say, and how would you know that? You wouldn't really know except for certain symptoms you might have, right?
Yeah.
And so it's really important because a lot of people don't produce enough hydrochloric acid to digest their food. So it's like leaving food in the refrigerator too long. What's going to happen to it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, it's the same thing in your gut, right?
Yeah, it's so true.
So and people don't realize that either.
Yeah.
So you're creating this bacteria, this fungus, this mold inside your gut. Well, where's it going? Into your bloodstream, right? Because your blood has to travel all through the body. Then what's happening?
Yeah.
And then your lymph not draining, so the toxins aren't getting out. So what's happening?
Yeah.
Where does
Your
that
whole
go?
body, throughout your system.
Throughout your system.
And it creates other problems other places. One thing that I learned too in the training, when you talked about the mouth, that if there's plaque in your mouth, that can be getting plaque in the heart as well. So for heart attacks.
Well, and what Dr. Melvin said? Dr. Melvin said he's seen so many issues, like people, like women who've had root canals, right? And then they get breast cancer in that same side of the breast that they've had the root canal.
Interesting. And that's something else we have here too, is chiropractic, which Dr. Melvin is amazing.
Totally different though, no manual cracking.
No.
And like everybody's always scared to go to the chiropractor, and we don't even call that chiropractic anymore. We call it neuromuscular reeducation because he's using some electric current. He's doing acupuncture points. He has like a gun. I mean, not like literally a gun, but the gun.
Yeah.
It's like a staple gun kind of, you know what I mean? But it's an acupuncture gun that he uses on acupuncture points.
Yeah.
So he's not twisting, cracking, and doing all the things people have to be afraid of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it really helps. I mean, everything here helps.
Yes.
But what we're trying to let you guys know is it starts with the thermal imaging.
Absolutely, because if you don't know what's going on in your body, how is he supposed to treat you? How are they're able to guide you on the other healing techniques that they have here if you don't know what's going on in your body? And you know what I've noticed too, just by the training, is that, because it was a great point when you talked about the legs, because people are like, oh no, I don't need to worry about my legs. And what I've seen is neuropathy. Because
deep vein thrombosis, blood clots in your veins. You don't know you have a blood clot in the vein. Like sometimes my feet go numb. Why are my feet going numb? There has to be a reason.
Yes.
And you brought up something valuable yesterday when you said you had certain symptoms that you were starting to feel.
Yes.
And if you didn't do something about it now, about if you just kind of let it go, what's going to happen?
It creates a bigger problem. That's why, people might call me a hypochondriac, but I'm like, I'd rather have somebody look at it and say, hey, like right now my palms are kind of burning a little bit. They feel like they're bruised. So it's like, okay, what's going on? Something obviously is happening because there's inflammation. So the only way that you're going to know that is by the thermal imaging. Totally. So we kind of named the benefits of it and the importance. Is there anything else you really want to tell them about it? I mean, because there's so much, I just think there's so much information that can be seen with this that let's talk about, so when they do, talk about the head to the feet, right? And that the feet are huge markers. Let's talk about why the feet, because I know that's the meridian and
the posture, you know what I mean? The posture. So if your hip is dropped more from one side to the other, your spine, you're leaning, like yesterday, for example, I have a patient in my office and she sits in the chair like this.
Oh yeah.
She tells me when she sits on a modality we gave her to kind of straighten up the way she's sitting so she's more straight, right? Because you realize you're leaning on muscle, tissue, nerves. You're doing damage because you're not in the correct position.
Right.
But when she sat on that wedge, she was in more pain, so now she won't use it.
Right.
And she's like, well, why am I in more pain if you're putting me back straight? Well, because you're used to sitting like this. Yeah. So your body's gotten used to that position. You try to put it to another. It's like going to the gym when you haven't gone in a while. What's going to happen?
You're going to be sore.
And be sore.
My
My friend was a perfect example. He never been to the gym. Went and bought a year membership to the gym. Went one day.
Said no.
He was so sore the next day he didn't go back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the head to the body is really important.
I mean, their posture, I never realized, when we sit, we're like this at the computer, you're supposed to be back. I mean, shoulders they say your breasts aren't supposed to be out, but you're really supposed to put your breasts out.
Yeah.
Breasts out, shoulders back.
Yeah.
And that's, like, when you sit with your shoulders back, You have to have that little dent here.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't have that no more. That's why he's giving those lumbar supports and doing that kind of
The
stuff.
C in the lower back, you're supposed to have that.
Yeah, that little
The dip.
curvature.
Yep.
Yeah.
You want that.
You know, and then your shoulders are back, your chin's kind of down, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
That's when and you can feel it pull,
Yeah.
and it doesn't feel comfortable to sit that way,
Yeah.
but that's when you are perfectly aligned,
Yeah.
you know? And you have to be that way. Your hips have to be straight. They can't be like this because you're doing damage to your body,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I think one thing that really woke me up was I went to a chiropractor's office, right? And I was doing imaging for his patients, but he had this poster on the wall, and it was a guy, and he was standing like this, then he was like this, then he was like this,
And tipping.
this one, and
Yeah.
you know, and he was further. And on that poster, and you know, you always realize why. You see these older people, they're all bent forward,
Yes.
and you can't get them to go back. Because for every 2 inches your head is forward from spine, it's an extra 10 pounds of pressure on the spine.
Oh yeah.
So once you start to go forward and you don't do your exercises or what you have to do to go back,
Exactly.
then what happens? You can't go back because you've created so much pressure on the spine, it won't come back
Yeah.
anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. So
They're knocking on the door.
so when you
They're knocking on the door.
that's okay. So when you have because let's talk about the different, because what I've noticed too is that on these images you can see the thyroid, which a lot of people don't ever pay attention to.
I don't
You
even know
can
if people
see-
know what their thyroid is.
Exactly.
Come on,
Yeah.
honey, what? Honey, come here.
Yeah. So you can see the thyroid, the pancreas, the thymus. Those are things, and people, you know,
Don't know what
someti-
they are.
Exactly, and sometimes, you know, people are like, I can't lose weight. I don't know what's going on. You know, you got the Hashimoto's. You've got so
They're
many.
not sleeping good. They have
Exact-
no energy. They're losing their hair.
Yes,
Mhm,
yes.
mhm.
So these are all things that we can see. So you can see what else? Because I mean, I'm not good on the body parts. That's where I'm still learning as a
Mhm.
different. Because there's the.
You can see all soft tissue,
Okay.
all the organs. You can see blood flow. I mean, you can see basically anything but bone.
Okay.
Anything.
Yeah. So anything you've got in your body. So that's why you know. In,
Periodontal disease, which we talked about, is when the food gets kind of underneath that gum line and starts
Yes.
affecting the gums, and you're not brushing or flossing
yes.
everything out of there. You can't get everything out no matter
Yeah.
what you do, you know? So, I mean, and so that gets into your gum line, drains into the lymph nodes. The lymph nodes run all the way down the whole side of the body,
Yep.
okay?
Yeah.
And the lymph is the waste, the trash. It's your trash system,
Yeah.
basically. You
Yeah.
know, then the trash has to get out of your system or it's going to create a lot of problems.
Yeah. So what do you guys, because I'm not up front so I'm not really sure what's the protocol. So when they, you know, obviously we feel that the thermal imaging is the first thing to go. So you know what's going on in your body. Because we can do everything structurally for our body, but we cannot see ourselves. We cannot see inside of our
But
bodies.
this is also showing you guys can
Yes.
visually see a picture
Yes.
of inflammation and problems in your body that are happening, and then you can start treatment, and we can do another picture and show you how inflammation has decreased in the body.
Yeah.
We can definitely do that.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a good point for anybody to see their journey of how they're doing. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, these are all things like preventative, precursor, things you want to do now before you're sick. You don't want to wait till you have cancer and then try to go through all that
Exactly.
treatment. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And by that time, the stuff we do, honestly, I mean, we try to help as many people as we can. But when people get to that point,
Mhm.
really, it's out of our hands at that point.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
There are stuff we can recommend and offer for you.
Right.
But they still don't realize, even at that point, even if you're undergoing treatment, they still need their body operating
Yes.
correctly.
Yes.
I mean, I have
Yes.
so many of our clients who complain so much of all the money they're spending on supplements,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
But sometimes your body's not absorbing those supplements,
Yeah.
so it's not mattering. So you're not feeling any different. You're taking $1,000 in supplements,
Yeah.
but you're not feeling any different.
Yeah.
Well, do you think maybe it's time to change?
Exactly.
Or maybe take an image and see what's going on, why you're not absorbing. It could be small
Exactly.
intestine, large intestine. Like I said, you could be not producing enough acid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, those are things you want to know. Why keep spending that type of money? You're still taking all these supplements and you're not feeling any different.
Right.
You know?
And Dr. Melvin does read those. So you can pay in your reports when you do the full body, when you do the women's health screening, men's health screening, because men need to do this too, right? So, and
even we do breast screenings, but I really don't ever recommend that to anybody because anything could be going on in your breast. It could be coming from anywhere, like we talked about. It could be coming periodontially. It could be coming from digestive.
Yes.
You want to know where it's coming from, because even if there is an issue in your breast, where did it start from?
Right.
And that's what our main objective is in this clinic, is to get to the problem.
Right.
You can have as many symptoms as you want, but you want to know what's causing, where those symptoms are coming from.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You have a sinus infection. Why do you have a sinus infection?
Right.
What's not working right? That's creating that sinus infection, right?
And so when they do these reports, you guys too, that you get recommendations, and it's so important. So talk about that. I really want to talk about that. The importance that, you know, to do the recommendations.
I don't know what people think. I don't know if people think that thermography is healing them, zapping something into their systems, but for some reason they get the thermography and then that's where it stops. And I'm not sure why. I mean, we have everything here to help you. You know what I mean? And you know, I don't know, like we talked about the other day, if people think we're trying to sell them something, you know what I mean?
Or they're maybe overwhelmed or whatever, but there's ways to work around it. It's
not, because anything, well, I'm not going to say anything, but I'm going to say 95% of the products we recommend can be found at any natural health food store, okay? So it's not that we are trying to sell our product, our brand, or our name, anything like that. We are really trying to help people, you know what I mean, get healthy. You know, we want you to be healthy so you don't get any major disease along the line that you can't cure, you know? So, and, you know, honestly, if your body is working correctly and processing right, you won't be sick, you know? I mean, like, I rarely get sick. Like, and that's, and when I do, it's because either, like, you know, all those supplements are sitting on my thing, I'm like, oh, I don't feel like taking them, or I'm eating the wrong stuff, or, you know what I mean? I'm doing things I'm not supposed to be doing, and then that's when I get run down, you know? But other than that.
Well, and it's interesting too, because then I want to find out like the packages and how they can get a hold of you, and the phone number here as well. But what's interesting is we will go to the dentist for our preventative. We will go to our primary for our preventative. We will go to our OBGYN for our preventative.
We don't feel
exactly. We don't feel this is important. Where this is something else to add into your whole regimen of health. This is so important. We can't really stress the importance of it because of what it can see, whether there is something, whether there's not, but at least if you know there's not, check back in 6 months.
Though.
Well, totally, because you know our bodies, from what we eat and just the stuff that's in there, there's so many things.
You got to think about the air we breathe is polluted. The water we drink is dirty. They're always talking about stuff they found in our water, right? I mean, and you think buying like spring water out of a plastic bottle is okay, but it's not. The plastic's been sitting who knows how long by the time we got it, and it starts to break down into the water. And we get a lot of estrogen from that, drinking from a plastic bottle. You should always drink from a glass bottle or a thermos, or like a aluminum thermos, because the plastic bottles are breaking down into the water.
But
I mean, they can be sitting there for years before we ever get on the shelves in the grocery store. Nobody thinks about that, you know. Everybody's so scared, COVID this, COVID that, and wiping their groceries down. Well, who packaged that before it got into there? You know what I mean? You're wiping it down now, but who put the food into the plastic before it got to you? Come on.
So amazing. I know there's just so many things to think about, but like I said, we're here to help you guys guide you on your wellness journey. So you've got packages running. So there's packages.
Christmas specials. So I'm gonna, you know, it'll extend out till after Christmas, of course, till the new year, and maybe we'll even go into a week or two of the new year to give everybody a chance to at least get an appointment. You know what I mean? If you guys can get the appointment before the new year, then we'll still honor the discounts we're gonna offer. Right?
Phone number and website.
The website is SoCal, SoCal Healthy Hideaway.com. And the phone number is 619-303-5884 or 619-792-7530. You guys can come in. You guys can get a free tour if you come down. We can show you all the services we offer here. We have so much to offer. I mean, like she was saying in the beginning, we just got a salt cabin. Halo therapy is so good right now, for especially during COVID. I mean, why everybody's so worried about COVID. If your immunity is working correctly, if you're taking the right vitamins, you don't have to be worried about it, you know? So the Halo therapy is great for respiratory, lung, immunity, sinus.
And we're going to do a video on that too. So so we'll talk about that in one of our other videos.
But I mean, it's just the combination of everything we have here kind of does the same thing. You know what I mean? It helps increase circulation. It helps decrease the inflammation. I mean, so it's a whole program that kind of like going to the gym. Like you'll pay for a membership to the gym. Well, you could pay for a membership here and get your body able to accept whatever else you're gonna do, right?
Exactly, because they'll guide you on the way. Well, it was amazing.
I know.
Thanks so much for just giving us so much good information on the thermal imaging.
I hope you guys really liked it, and you know, and I hope you guys understand that it is important to be in good health. It really is. You know, nobody likes to be sick. So,
and when your immune system's down, then you're just a target for viruses and for anything else, disease. You know, so we can help you with that. So thanks again, Theresa, for being here. Really appreciate it.
No masks.
We don't. There's no mask here, so mask free. And the reason is that because they have the ozone therapy.
We sanitize everything with blue light and alcohol. We have air purifiers. We use ozone here. So I mean, we've been pretty good, safe. You know, spray everything down and make sure everything's clean and people feel comfortable that they're able to come here and not have to worry about wearing the mask too. And we also have light bulbs. Light bulbs,
the pure light.
The pure light bulbs fight bacteria and viruses. So.
All the COVID, SARS, and all of that. So awesome.
And we're grounded.
Totally. That's a whole well, and we're going to talk about the pain in one of our other videos. We're going to talk about the pain-free zone. About the grounding chairs, because that's amazing too. Like I said, I mean, we could go. It's just amazing here. And once you come in, you'll feel the energy here, because everybody that comes in, they feel so much warmth. They feel so welcome.
I mean, a lot of our patients here have been coming to us for 20 plus years.
Oh yeah, I've talked to some people 30, 33 years.
So I mean, they've followed us around. They love it here. You know, they feel like family basically. You know, when they come here, because we try to make everybody comfortable, happy. That's all part of healing.
Yes. Absolutely.
Hugging is part of healing.
Yes. Thanks for bringing that up, because that is so true. So true.
Laughing, hugging, those are all part of healing.
Yes.
And we do have stuff to help your brain if you can't get past that.
Yeah. Well, that's like I said. There's so many things that we have, seriously, that you guys, I mean, we're going to be doing a lot of videos on the different modalities. So just look forward to the next one. So thank you again, Theresa, for being here on the show. Greatly appreciate it. So don't forget to go to So Cal Healthy Hideaway.com. And then the phone number is
619-303-5884 or 619-792-7530. The email is socalhealthyhideaway@gmail.com, and the 619-792-7530 number, you can text on that number if you guys want to text. So
what's the address here?
7339 El Cajon Boulevard, Suite H as in healthy. We're in La Mesa. So come on down, give her a call, and get your wellness journey started, or continue on your wellness journey, and we'll look forward to seeing you. And don't forget to comment, subscribe, like, and hit the bell for notifications, so you'll be notified when the next video is going to come up. So thank you guys so much. We'll see you in the next video. Bye. Hi, I'm Theresa, and we just wanted to give you a little demo of how we do thermography around here and how easy it is, and non-invasive, no radiation, nothing can harm you. You can do babies, you can do all the way up to 150 years old. It doesn't matter who they are, what they are.
Dogs.
You could do pets. There is a little bit of an issue with pets. We'll talk about the hair and stuff, because thermography doesn't go through hair and it doesn't go through clothes. So usually when you come down for a free tour, we show you the place, what we have to offer, and we'll give you a free face view. And I'm going to do a face view on Billy here, kind of show you what it looks like. So this is the camera. It's just like taking a picture with a regular camera, but it's actually seeing the inside of your body instead of the outside of the body, right?
Love that.
Alright, so there's Billy's face, and everybody's, did it fall out? I don't know. But anyways, everybody's always concerned about temperature. Like this, the face is so extremely hot right now, you can't see anything. But when we measure temperature, what we're doing is we have a color guide here, and you need to see everything from red, white is the hottest temperature, blue, black is the coldest temperature. And you want to see everything ranging in that picture you're taking of those colors so you know where the hottest to coldest point is. So I'm just going to go ahead and regulate that temperature for him to see what's going on with him. I got to focus, so I'm going to focus him in. A good focus, you'll be able to see definition, eyebrows, eyelashes. You can see him breathing here through the nose. And so the hottest point on the body is the eyes, okay? So you always want to make sure there's a little bit of white in his eyes, and that'll bring in the rest of my temperature to see what's going on with him. When I'm looking at this, it's like drawing a line down the middle of the body. I'm always looking left to right. Today he looks pretty symmetric. He's got a little bit of inflammation here in the neck, so that's showing me a little bit of thyroid and some lymphatic stuff going on with him that he needs to get under control. We do use bentonite, and bentonite really helps a lot with this inflammation going on. But for the most part, he's pretty symmetric, okay? He looks kind of the same from side to side when you look at this face. And then his nose here, your nose really should always be blue or black. If it's not, it's showing you a little bit of sinus issues, you know, but it's account for the weather. It's dry out, you know, allergy season, stuff like that's happening. And when that happens, you can see like a little bit of inflammation all around here. It's kind of like a allergy pattern, you know, because of all the allergies in the air and stuff. So, but that's about it, and that's just how easy it is. That's how it works. And we do that for every part of the body. So you can see digestion well, thyroid, like I showed you here, this is the thyroid here, a little bit inflamed here. He needs to increase his iodine intake and his selenium, right? And then, go ahead and stick your tongue out, honey. So you can see it is live, it is him. We're not, you know, just showing you something that's not for real. It's really him.
Oh.
So these are your mastoid sinus. This is his nose here. These are his eyes. This is his mouth. You see his little goatee. And you can see how the thermal doesn't go through hair. You can see how cold it is here where his hair is at, his mustache and his goatee.
It's so cool.
Are you taking your iodine, honey?